All right, here we go. So, very exciting call tonight. I have my good friend Jon Cutler on the line. If you did not know, he hosts a podcast with a couple other gentlemen from the community, Marketplace Mavericks. I had the pleasure of being their first guest. They do really wonderful work trying to help, make the business of running an Amazon business easier for everyone, specifically catered towards older folks who are in the community, but great information for anyone. I saw a post that Jon put up, I don't know, it's probably a couple of weeks ago now, which is why I love the community. And he was just sharing something that he picked up, something he learned. He'll tell you, and I don't know how much I believe it, that he's not super technologically savvy, but he somehow, I guess probably through trial and error and struggle and need, figured out how to make his business a little more efficient, a little more effective, working with his VA, handling all the things that he needs to handle, trying to scale his wholesale business using ChatGPT. And I said, you know what? We need that for the community. We need to have a call about that. I know that people want to use it, but generally the calls that I've been on, it's like high level, ninja stuff that, it's probably great, but how can I figure this out if I'm barely just using ChatGPT? I use ChatGPT honestly every day, but it's not for like high level stuff. And so when I saw Jon say that, I'm like, hey, let's bring this to the people. Let some folks get on a call, ask some questions, and see where it goes. It's just for folks who may use it, like myself, and have a familiarity with it, or if you want to use it and figure out how this can connect to your business. And we said, hey, let's bring Jon in. And so he's here today. Like I said, feel free to ask questions. I have a handful of questions that we'll bring up a little bit later, but I think Jon wants to talk to you a little bit more about himself and how he started using this and how you might want to figure out ways to put it into your business.
Yeah.
Huh?
So I'm sure not new to I'm sure not I've been doing this since like January. So I'm new. So like the ninja stuff just goes right over my head. But I came from a business that like I didn't really need the internet. And my business was big enough where QuickBooks, spreadsheets, all that stuff, like I had a guy for. So I didn't have to learn. Like I always said, like I was one step above your father that finger types. Like I could type, but like that was pretty much it. So I knew going into like doing the Amazon thing, I was like, okay, the computer part is going to be difficult. And it was like, I don't know how to make an Excel sheet. And like Excel is really important in this. Luckily, I have a girlfriend that helped me make one, and then I learned it through ChatGPT. I barely knew how to make a PDF, so like I just did not know computers very well. And starting off, it was a hindrance. Like it was just all the time. I was not spending sourcing. I was trying to figure out how to put like combine files and do everything. And finally, I started playing with ChatGPT, and I had the free version, and that didn't really do it. And then, I mean, the free version is kind of like Google. It's okay, but it doesn't have any memory. Like, so I went and did the $20 one, and then I was like, oh, this does a lot. And then I started typing to it. And then what the key is to it is I just started talking. Even though, like, if you're home, you do sound like a crazy person. I started making folders, and then I had ChatGPT. If you go into it and you can tell it specific things to store in its memory. So I asked it to give me a personality test. I put a couple files and a couple important like Google Sheets into my memory. I talked about how I wanted things answered, and it started remembering things. And then about 2-3 months ago, I got a VA a little ahead of when I needed one. And I don't know if any of you guys use it, but Slack. And that's the post I put in school was, the Slack I used for like a month, and I basically just used it like an instant messenger. I tried to put some channels together. It was a nightmare. And I finally just deleted it all. And I spent like 3-4 hours just talking to ChatGPT, and it prompted me every single step of the way to set up a full like Slack with SOPs for an entire admin, training videos, Loom videos, everything. And it took me like a day or two. So really, as you guys start to like scale in this business, depending on how big you want to get, like ChatGPT is great for everything, but like the real simple basics of it is perfect for this business and to build systems. ChatGPT is good for anything. It's good if if you're a computer coder, it'll code things, but I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So, but for what I'm using it for, kind of in this, so it really takes somebody that doesn't know computers well. And I kind of thought like ChatGPT would be over my head, and it actually works better for somebody that doesn't know how to like use a computer well. Cause I just talked to it when I get a price list from a distributor, and that price list is 75 lines long. And in order for me to scan it in like another web, like you have to adjust that spreadsheet. You have to take scientific notation out. You got to simplify. I cannot do any of that stuff. So I just explained it to ChatGPT, give it the file, and it just says like scanned unlimited ready. And then I just download it into like stuff like that. That if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able, because I cannot manipulate a Excel sheet. And in wholesale, you have to do that a lot. So it just started like it's made my business, like me able to like really start scaling as I'm moving into wholesale. So yeah, that's pretty much my ChatGPT story.
So John, help me here. So when you say, I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. And I use the free version, so it's interesting to hear you talk about the memory, because sometimes I'll be like,
it's different.
Well, can you find this photo? And they're like, oh, I don't have access to other chats. And I'm like, oh crap. I find myself like trying to do things in a specific chat to make it work. But it doesn't, I guess, have overall memory of all the different stuff that we talk about, which I didn't realize.
Right. I have my email account connected to it, and like I know AI, but like I have my email, my Outlook, my Gmail, they're all connected to it. My Google Photos, everything is for work is connected to it.
So when you got Slack, because I guess I understand how you're able to figure it out after having a conversation, but what I don't understand is where you started, right? So like I'm using Slack. I'm sorry, in your case, you're using Slack. How do you get from using Slack and being super confused to having this 3-hour conversation and figuring it all out?
I literally I named her Veronica. And
listen, don't get in a relationship with the ChatGPT, please.
But like, and I just said, hey, like, I suck at computers, and this Slack thing is really confusing, and I need your help step by step on how to set up a Slack for my VA, for my Amazon business, like, and it just started walking me through it. And I could literally, there were a couple of times I would be like, that's bullshit. I don't like that answer. Do better. And like another answer would come out and it would be better. Like it was wild. And I just kept on going, because you have to check, but a lot of stuff, like I've been doing Amazon for only 6 months. I'm full-time, but I've been learning, just like you guys, like I've been learning how to source. I am not anywhere near a place in my wholesale business where I'm just working on brand deals. Like, no, I'm looking for things to buy. I'm still in like that early stages. So I haven't really learned all that much about the admin part of Amazon. I can fumble through it, but my VA came from somewhere else and he has like 3 years experience. If you spend 3 years doing admin for Amazon, like you got it down pretty good. It's not that hard. So I didn't really have to make a lot of training videos. I did a lot of training videos for OA sourcing, but for him, it was more set up all the steps he needs to do every single day. And ChatGPT, even though I don't know all the steps, ChatGPT does. So it just started putting them all together. And then I was able to post them all in Slack in the right way. And I just told my VA, because sometimes ChatGPT and AI will just do weird things. But he read it all through, and like it all makes sense, and the timeliness makes sense. It just took a while to like talk it through, but then I started doing it again because I'm starting to do Walmart also, and I had it walk me through some Walmart stuff, and it did better than when it did it did it quicker. I didn't have to have it change how I wanted things answered. It starts to really learn. And you just store more stuff in the memory. That the paid version is just it's different.
Right. Okay. And then Thomas has a question, so I'll get Thomas.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, John?
Good.
Yeah. So first of all, yeah. So I didn't name my ChatGPT. I asked it, to come up with a name, and it said, "Call me Max for maximum profit." So.
All right.
Max.
So I got
all right. I like that.
But so yeah, I'm using the free version as well. Okay, and I use it heavily every day.
Yeah.
I'll hit a wall because it'll tell me I've exceeded the limit of asking like the high level stuff.
Yep.
And I've been on the fence. I'm like, do I need to take on another subscription now? But I use it. So do you see a difference in the results in how it answers questions and how accurate it is with the subscription based versus the free?
Yeah, I could be wrong here, Omar. You might know better than me. There's something about the free version. I don't know if it's completely live, like on the internet, or I think at one point it wasn't. It might be now.
It wasn't. I think it is now.
I think it is now. But to be honest with you, I really didn't start using it until I had the paid version. I kind of messed around with it before, like on the free version, and then I tried the paid for a month, and I was like, so I didn't use it much with just free.
Yeah, because I was going to commit to it when Tony was the guest on the sourcing call, Miles, and he was going into all that high level scraping and decoding and the macros. And then he said something that has stuck in my mind, and that was the prompt engineering. So basically engineering the ChatGPT prompt, for yourself. And that just blew me away. So
yeah, I'm sure there's more I can do also. Like I just had to do like a simple personality test. Like, it's a little scary. They're probably going to take over the world one day and rule us all. But for now, it's helping me build my systems.
All right, perfect. And it's funny. I see more people have their ChatGPT's name than.
See, I knew I wasn't.
I realized. Yeah.
I mean, come on. You're going to talk to them that much. If you're going to talk to them that much, I switch around. Sometimes she's British. Sometimes she's Australian. It depends what I'm in the mood for that day.
That's actually, it's pretty funny. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I know that it now has a voice where it actually can speak. So you're using the voice version.
Sometimes. But the only problem with the voice version is you can't see the words. So if you're having a conversation and she's learning something, you can do the voice version. But when I'm building SOPs and different stuff, like I need to see all the words and because ChatGPT will just start reading through code. So it gets a little in that way. Then I'm just gonna look at, because I need to look at the screen and stuff like that. But I just keep on using it for more stuff and more stuff.
And when I understand you said you started uploading different spreadsheets and said, hey, save this to memory. Like I don't use ChatGPT like that. I don't even know if I can with the free version, but how did you know to say, all right, well, I need to upload this spreadsheet so it has it in a memory? Like, how do you even figure that out starting off?
I think on one of Miles' calls, he had talked about it. And how I remember him saying, you just need to talk to it. And then I heard somewhere how it's not the free version wasn't live, even though it might have been. And that's what made me, I was like, oh, what's one more subscription?
Right, at this point, right.
At this point, I'm like, what's one more subscription? I'll keep it for months, see if I like it. And I was like, oh, that's worth $20. Sometimes you just get one of those and you're just like, oh yeah, this is why I got this. And it just, it keeps on growing because I'm really trying as I scale to not all of a sudden have that oh shit moment where you have too much stuff going on and
Right.
you're not organized. And that's what I was starting to feel like with Slack specifically. And I've been sourcing so much that's why I took like those 2 days and just backed off. It was like, okay, don't do anything. Get your shit together. So if you do start getting larger accounts, because with wholesale, like, you're making call after call, but all of a sudden it only takes like a couple of phone calls and you can all of a sudden invest $30,000-$40,000.
Right.
So
now, I understand, obviously, you're doing wholesale, and not all of us are doing wholesale, but there are still things that overlap.
OA, you can do the same. I mean, but the amount of OA sellers that I've talked to in the past couple weeks that are just huge, like doing 100,000 a month with OA and stuff like that is, I no longer will say like, well, you can't really scale OA.
Right. Yeah. No, I think when we were in Miami talking, Stephen Does Business, and we were in like an OA roundtable. It was super weird because people kept asking about wholesale, which was strange.
Yeah.
But he was like, listen, until you hit 100,000, there's no reason to do wholesale. And so you can scale up to get there. But like, if I think about like, so I know you have a VA and not all of us have VAs. Some of us are newer or part-time or whatever the case may be. But talk to me a little bit about, because I think some of this stuff is still, still makes sense. So what are the checklists and the things that you're giving the VA that we probably have to do anyway on an admin side? So what does that look like?
So I'm learning the number one bad thing is leakage. Like,
okay.
Amazon does not need to look, and I know Tony Cruz can spit the numbers out in this, but it's huge. And of course, you don't see it as much in the beginning, but you'll see it. If Amazon loses like 3 units or something like that, it takes like you selling 12 units to make it back. So like leakage can just destroy you. And Amazon, there is a process. They're going to like, if it's their fault, they'll give you the money, but they're not going to come and tell you. So that's something that is just a daily thing. And there's certain ways Amazon likes you to answer, kind of like getting ungated and stuff like that. So, he's checking leakage, stranded inventory. He's checking what's checked in, what isn't checked in. And then I'll start writing stuff for sourcing. He also sources for me when he's done with that. Cause like right now, doing 30, 40K a month, the admin work is more of making sure you're not moving the amount of units where you really, really need one. And that's why I use mine for sourcing also. I'm having him doing the OA sourcing while I'm working on getting wholesale going, is kind of the idea of it. But every single task he has to check off. So, and then I give an explanation of what he did. So I have a way of keeping him accountable. Because VAs, they can be fantastic, but like any employee, you have to hold them accountable. And, I tell my VA, if I send him a message during the time that he's working, like on Slack, he's got to message me within a minute or like under 5 minutes. You have to be on top of them. And especially I don't think my VA is my VA forever.
Sure.
So like, because like any other employee, if it shows that like they can slack off and get away with it, like they will do it. So you just have to have enough stuff for them to do, and they'll go through and do it. And a lot of them are still like, he's still a super like honest guy, like super nice. I just don't think he's gonna be my forever guy. But because I'm really looking for that initial VA that is like the boss. If I really want to scale this, like the one who's going to find other VAs, train VAs, and kind of be like the point person. That's really the first one I want.
Right. Yeah.
So so the Slack just works really well, and the way that ChatGPT was just allowing me to set it up, because like first it set it up like all the tasks in one big block, and they couldn't check each one off. So I went back and I'm like, no, delete that. I want every single task them to be able to check off individually and give me a report. So it like redid it so they were all like, it just makes it so easy.
And when you say that, you mean they're building a spreadsheet with the check boxes?
Yeah, it's like within message
okay.
with Slack. So it's in like it's building like a whole workflow. And then that workflow is delivered every single morning at 7 a.m. Philippine time when he starts to work. So like, so he
get
just
into that a little bit, right?
Yeah,
so are you
so you
saying,
automate,
like, based on what they did?
Yeah, so you automate
yesterday?
everything. Yeah. So I set the all of it up. So there's weekly and daily tasks. And every morning at 7 a.m. Philippines time, all those tasks pop up. It dings, this is what you have to do today. And then as he goes through each task, he has to check that off, fill something, fill in what he did, the ASIN, stuff like that. But it's all automated. And I can change it.
Hold on, John, for the slower people on the call.
Yeah.
So when you say it's automated, right? So is there an email sent with a spreadsheet? Is a spreadsheet like a Google Doc and it's updated at 7 a.m.?
No,
like, how does that work?
It's all on Slack.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay,
yeah, it's all on. Am I able to share a screen on this?
Absolutely. The little it's right next to the camera. It's a little computer screen with the arrow pointing up.
Let's see. Chrome tab, window. There we go. Can you see this okay?
Yep.
Okay. So this is my Slack. And so all these, you make channels. And then in here, I make like a lot of Loom video.
Oh, wait, you know what? We're looking at your Google
God.
Meet, not it's the wrong. You're just sharing the wrong.
Hold on.
Wrong screen. Sorry.
How about now?
Now it's just a green block.
You know what? I think I gotta go.
So I wasn't believing your technology piece until now, right? Like, great on ChatGPT, not on Google Meets.
I told you.
It's all good though. It's all good. Oh, and while you're looking for this, really great interview with Miles on a podcast today. If you guys haven't checked it out, I'll drop a link in the chat so you guys can check it out. But their podcast is really fantastic, especially if you're just getting started.
Yeah, if you're new, it's a help. Oh, it just keeps opening. That one. All right. It's so slow. All right. Can you see my Slack now? Or is it just... What am I doing wrong? I think maybe I have...
Oh, I'm on mute. Yeah, I can see your Slack. And
no, now you can? Okay.
Yeah.
So I did right. Okay. So I have access to my... All right. So you see, you set up channels and like daily tasks. So this just came out today. So he has all of his tasks, and then he can
check those off.
Yeah, he can check those off. So if you hit like reply, if you reply to it, you just check it off, type in everything, and then I also have these pins. So if I want to add something, like if I just got a price list and I want to add something, I reply to this message and it automatically pops into his daily tasks.
Dude, let me tell you, that is sick.
Yeah. Another cool thing is pretty cool. I can take my email, and if I want to, I can send this email to my Slack. So, like, what do I have? Is it? So you automatically make an email in your channels, and
You could just email to that. And
Yeah, it emails.
Okay.
It emails to that channel, so it pops up like in my price list. Like there, you see there are like an email just automatically goes there, and if I want, I can set up my Gmail that I use for all of my Amazon emails. So all your health email, I use set up with keywords with ChatGPT of like health or anything like that, and then those will go directly into your account health. Like here, I have some of them doing it. Stranded SKUs scheduled, my Amazon, an alert on my Amazon account. So those all get automatically forwarded into the account health section where it will alert my VA. So
I'm gonna have to look into this paid version because this is crazy.
Yeah, and you can just set it. You just set it all, and it's all through workflows. And then I haven't done a ton, but Loom is really convenient for this because you can make Loom videos of you doing something on Amazon. Upload the Loom video to your ChatGPT and say, now write an SOP out for this, and it will do it.
What's the subscription cost on that?
On what? On Slack? Super cheap, like $10.
Now, just for future reference, and you should probably consult with Tony on this. For this video, you probably want to blur out your company name on that, but I don't know if you remember when.
I know.
But if you're going to go posting this to a larger community.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Tony has some kind of app where he can
it's an extension
to block out so that when you're doing your screen shares, you don't have to reveal sensitive information.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so that sort of stuff I am definitely not good at. I would get robbed blind.
Yeah,
I'd be the person that had a podcast and would have like my address somehow on a piece of mail behind me.
Well, I'll go back and check the video. I don't think you pulled up anything that was critical. And also it's only going to the community, but I'll check it before I post it. So, I won't put anything up. And if it needs to be blurred, I'm happy to do that. But but great point. Yeah, Tony, I mean, he's freaking ninja. I think he was showing his Amazon back end, but he's another level. That pulls out ASINs or something like that. It was weird.
That guy's on another level. So with it really being said, it's just if you are having trouble with like computer stuff and you're not great at it, I thought like, ChatGPT isn't for me. That's for like computer people. And no, actually ChatGPT is for people that don't know computers well, because it'll just do it for you eventually. I know a lot of times with like I've had it make pictures and edit pictures and stuff like that, or like make signs, make logos. It does some weird things and spells things weird. So you kind of have to proofread what it says, but for the most part, it's pretty good.
My wife does all the sourcing, and she'll use it frequently by sending it a screenshot of a keeper chart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that, but I mean that's a pretty powerful.
And the more you use it, the better it gets. Like I kind of really only use mine for work. I'd use it for like some stuff, like a couple like figure out like a gym workout or something like that. It's really good for. But 98% of the time I use it just for work. So it's just learning exactly what I do. I don't have to tell it what I do anymore. Like you just have to talk to it and it's got it all in there.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's just so unbelievably useful. I don't know what people did before.
Yeah, I think that's going to be part of the powerful piece, which also like, I mean, to your point, like, I don't remember how the hell I got anywhere before there was like Google. There was
I don't know how I did anything.
No clue. But the memory I think is going to be powerful because I'm looking at my ChatGPT right now and I got a bunch of different chats, but none of them are connected. A lot of them are similar stuff. Like I do a lot of runs to Gap, right? So I'll go to a bunch of different places and I'll have it create the route for me. And all this stuff just doesn't connect. And like now making flyers for these sourcing calls, it's like, hey, can you take this photo that we used before? And they're like, I don't have access to it. So I'm really going to look into the paid version because, like you said, it's just one more thing and it's only $20.
It's useful. Like there's powerful. And Slack is like unbelievably cheap for what you can do with it.
Yeah.
Like some of the other stuff I've had to get, like sometimes like I've used like Scan Unlimited to do like spreadsheets. Like it's like $100 a month, and it kind of sucks. But like a lot of like it's needed.
Okay. And buckle up. I see you have your hand up. You have a question?
Hey, it's me.
Oh, I'm like, who is that?
My fellow podcaster.
Do you know this guy?
So I've been listening, since it started, and I think it's all great, John, what you're sharing, Omar. Hang on a second.
Jeff's he's such a good listener.
So I think just a word of caution, because as great as ChatGPT is, excuse me, as great as it is, it does make mistakes.
Yeah.
I've noticed that over the last couple of days, because I use it every day as well, just like everybody else here, hopefully. And there have been some prompts that I've sent, and it's like providing me information that I saw a couple days ago, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So just be aware.
Yeah.
Although it is a great tool to use, just read what it writes, and don't just take it for granted. That's what the answer is.
Yeah, you got to give everything a scan, because there are a couple of times like, and it wasn't gibberish. It wasn't like it just goes off the rail.
Right.
It still sounds okay, but once you read something, you're like, oh, that's not right. And then usually second try, like it fixes itself pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that's really fantastic.
Because a lot of the things I didn't know that much when it was building my admin out. I didn't know a lot of the things because I didn't know how to do it that well. That's why I kind of like, once I built it all, like I had my admin who's been doing admin work for 3 years. I'm like, hey, does anything here sound stupid or just backwards? Like, don't do it this way. And he was like, I had him like change a couple days around that he wants to like check certain things. And like, that's fine. I want him to have like some freedom when he does it. But he was like, but overall, like, he's like, it all makes sense. It covered everything. So,
Thomas again?
Yeah. So, John, one thing that I've been wanting to do with the ChatGPT is to somehow get it to communicate with the Amazon Seller Central for the analytics. And, it won't directly connect.
No,
but what
not yet.
You can download all the data from Seller Central, and it'll analyze it, because honestly, the Seller Central, it has all the information, but
it's all in there.
In a way,
you just got to find it,
right?
Yeah.
But when you want to find the leakage, you got to go in, you got to find every shipment, look at what was sold and what was sent in to do the cross-referencing. Right now, I'm relying on Boxum. They're really
they've been doing well
on the analytics end, and it simplifies, your ROI, your profit, your margin, and all.
I use Boxum and Sellerboard. Sellerboard has gotten some really funky data lately. It's all over the place. Their customer support is atrocious to the point of where it's not even worth trying. So it's
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, go ahead there, Pete.
I was just going to say that I can almost assure you, Thomas, that Amazon's probably working on an AI agent, basically.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is AI already.
Yeah, for Seller Central.
But let me tell you, I can see how ChatGPT is so, like, it's just one step away from actually controlling your computer. Like, it just feels like, I kept on asking you, because you can connect like your Gmail, your Outlook. It cannot just directly compose a message and send it. You still have to it'll compose a message. It is really easily copy pasted into your email, but it won't. But I can just tell it is like right there where you're just going to be like, open up my Amazon seller account, and it's going to open on your computer. Like, open up this, move those files from there over to there, and it's just going to start doing it. Like, it is right there. In fact, I think it can do it, and it just hasn't happened yet. But I feel like that's coming. And just the way that it does everything right to that point. Like, it's as easy as making a Google sheet. It's like, just make me a Google sheet. Here are the 3 columns. I want this, this, and this. Add this up on that side. And it's just it gets it 80% right the first time for the most part.
I think if you ask Elon Musk, he's going to say, I'm really close to this Neuralink, just connecting to Jack.
It's coming.
That's the way it's coming. Unfortunately, people like me are going to be the first suckers that have the brain implant, because it helped me write my SOPs for my Amazon business, and I'm going to be like the first one to be taken over. I understand that, so I figure as long as I know that going into it, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah,
maybe not fine, but
and John, Brian dropped an email contact in the chat, just in case you're looking for somebody to reach out to. I think there's a bit of a typo, but you see what it is, Alex at Sellerboard. And so one thing, I guess
it's Alex at Sellerboard.
Yeah, I think it was a W instead of
Alex
ER
at
in
Sellerboard.
there.
Yeah.
But
I'm driving.
No, it's cool. So I mean, I think like one thing I was going to ask you, but I think maybe I'll just answer it myself because I don't think you were really using it. So like for folks who haven't used ChatGPT and it was like, oh well, how do I get started? John is talking about he didn't really use it until he got the paid version, but maybe you don't want to start using the paid version.
Yeah, you can still use it.
You can start every day with all kinds of topics, like as long as you just don't need the memory. I've used it to help me create plans. I use it to make flyers and graphics.
Oh yeah.
To Pete's point, like my son actually noticed a mistake. Like I created a cartoon graphic of himself, and it had his school's name on it. The school name.
Kinds of stuff on the free stuff.
Yeah,
it's just like more of like a one-time use with it. Like if you're using it for work or business, like you get to start using that memory and it starts to learn. But yeah, I've like logos and just like quick fun stuff is super easy to learn, and just you'll start to like understand it better.
Right. And I think, while there are limits, you can still do a ton on the free version that'll get your feet wet.
I bet I could. It would have taken me longer. I bet I could have set up my Slack with the free version. Maybe it would have taken me longer. I don't know. But I got a feeling I could have. You can just put so much in memory and then go back to it. And that's what I started doing. I started just making folders. I only talk about like that specific like topic, even though it can read between folders. You just start making projects in it. Like I have one for Slack. I have one for, I'm starting Walmart. So I have one for Walmart. And it just keeps on kind of growing with it. I haven't had any issues with going over my memory. So Tom, you might be using it more than me because I have not hit my memory my memory limit yet.
Oh no, he's on a free version.
Oh, are you on the free version? Oh, okay. Because there is a limit to the $20 version too. But I think you really gotta do some talking.
But John, have you really walked away from OA completely now?
Let's say 70-30.
Yeah.
70-30. Like I myself have not sourced OA in like a month.
So is your VA sourcing for OA or
yes, for OA? Like he does the admin work. I'll have him look at price lists sometimes if they're large, and then I have him source OA, but kind of like I don't do got away from clothes for the most part. Sourcing some other stuff and then just hitting replens hard on the good things, and then I'm just doing wholesale completely is all I'm doing, and I'm just in that outreach part of it where I put in orders. I got a big grocery order in, but I haven't found that like more of a brand deal, that $25,000 order, that $30,000 order that kind of gets you like that kind of, Omar, what'd you call it? That breakthrough moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like I haven't had that. I've had some good things like moderately going, and I have about 3 different brand, not deals with a brand, buying from the brand direct. So it'll be good to see how those orders go, and then you just start making like those relationships. I just love wholesale because I get to talk to people. And it kind of like the OA thing isn't for me. I don't like it. I did it. I grinded myself through it. I actually I enjoy wholesale sourcing. It's different from OA sourcing. And I kind of like that, picking out, like finding those medium to small brands that you can call. But I never really liked, because once I started surfing around the internet and all kinds of codes you were putting in, and I just didn't really like it. It's not my thing. But I completely understand guys that just love the sourcing, and they're usually more like computer based. They know how to navigate really well. So I don't think I'll ever do, but I think I'm always going to do OA, always fast moving things. I feel like I'll always have a VA to do like just the easy OA stuff, because the ROI and like the margins are better.
All right, so we're coming up to the top of the hour. So if you guys have any additional questions, feel free to grab Jon while we have him. Reminder about tomorrow, Brian's on the line. We are doing an AMA for Walmart. So if you're interested in Walmart, getting started, if you have Walmart and haven't used it, like I haven't, like I just sent in 3 boxes over the last week. So I'm trying to ramp that up because the ability to sell on there is ridiculous. I can just sell almost anything. So
I'll give you guys like a little Walmart sauce, or what I'm seeing with Walmart. So I have just a bunch of stuff that I bought like right when I started that I never got like ungated, been sitting in my office forever. So I was like, I'm going to send that into Walmart. It took like 5-6 days to open your Walmart account, and I got it open. I'm going through the process. It's very different, and like you don't put the number of units you're sending into Walmart. They just like figure it out.
Oh, like per box? Like, because I sent in 2 boxes and they just didn't ask me what was in each box.
Yeah, I know.
That was strange.
Yeah, but Walmart is definitely trying to compete with Amazon. And I have found when I'm calling brands, a lot of times one of the biggest things comes up is we already have Amazon sellers. Check back with me in 3 months. We don't want to saturate our market, which is really the right answer, because they shouldn't. And that's really a brand you want to work with, because if you can get in with them, they're not going to oversaturate you with sellers. And even though I don't really know what I'm talking about yet, I just threw out to these 5 different brands, like, hey, what about Walmart? You know, I do sell on Walmart, or I have before. And, that's kind of an untapped market. 3 out of the 5 brands right away said, we'll sell to you if you sell on Walmart.
And that's amazing.
So there is a lot of opportunity there. Now, the problem is that I'm stretching myself too thin, and like, there's only so much I can learn. And a lot of these brands, they don't really have a presence on Walmart. So I actually may have to build a listing, almost like getting paid to learn private label in a way, just on Walmart. But if you get like, I have those 3 brands ready to like let me place orders now. Now I'm not comfortable enough to do that because I need to learn a little bit of what I'm doing. But I can guarantee you, if I sell for them on Walmart for a couple of months, they're going to let me into Amazon.
Right.
So I think for wholesaling, like Walmart is something to pay attention to, especially when you're dealing with brands, because I can almost guarantee you the small to medium brands, they're on Amazon, but they're on Walmart, but it's not active. So it is definitely something, if you're doing wholesale, look into Walmart. I also think like, we're talking about Walmart like it's some sort of like little stepbrother. Like, it's Walmart. They just are deciding to come into the Amazon world more. So that's my Walmart sauce for you. Perfect. I actually don't really know. I can't actually send a shipment in yet because I haven't figured out that, but I can give you the sauce on.
It's not hard. I'll tell you. It is different than Amazon.
It is different.
And it's not as easy as Boxem for sure. But it is easier than Amazon, I would say, like if you're using Seller Central, because that's annoying. But Boxem doesn't do it yet. Although I just realized Aura, my repricer,
the same one
on there. So I'm putting in prices today because my stuff is shipping in to Walmart. So anyway, definitely look for that. I pinned a comment with the information for tomorrow's call. This awesome. One is recorded, will be posted, but like I said, Jon, I'm gonna review the video. It takes a couple hours for I think this thing to propagate. I'll go in there and check and see if there's any issues. If there are, I can just blur that stuff out, cover it out. But I don't think you've showed anything, honestly. But we'll see. So look for that. If anybody needs any sauce, obviously reach out to Jon. I put a link to his podcast in the chat, so please go check that out. I mean, it's really great stuff. I've been on there.
And we're going to get some shorts on there soon.
And yeah, listen, for sure.
We're going to get some shorts on there because, you know, so people start listening. People do listen, but yeah.
Yeah, your numbers.
I haven't figured out that YouTube algorithm yet.
It's not even a question. Your numbers are going to skyrocket as soon as you guys start doing that. So definitely check out the podcast. Miles was on there today, like I said, and I think Ian was on there too. Thomas Cruz or Tony Cruz. So
really good guests.
Getting all the heavy hitters in there. So hey, listen, thanks for everybody for joining tonight. We'll have a call tomorrow, and then we'll keep you updated as we add new calls, and we'll keep it going. So Jon, thanks again. I appreciate you coming through, waking us all up to the opportunity that is ChatGPT. And maybe we'll do it again. Maybe we'll do the next step as you continue to learn and grow.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. Have a great night.
All right, you too, Bill.
Guys.
See ya.